And I think also as well, I think people don't know to evaluate. They just don't know. They don't have the knowledge about the area of trust in the States. Even my own parents, I called my mom the other day. I was like, do y'all have a will? She was like, no. Now, this is a family who they have multiple businesses. They have, several things that they have, and it's just like as you said, if they don't have things in place, it's going to be split. Like, and so I love the fact that you are taking on that role of, I need to be into place to educate individuals. That's amazing. So, Journey to Esquire program, you mentioned earlier that you graduated within 2022. Oh, you mentioned to me earlier before this podcast. You
Yes.
mentioned So, what were some of the lessons that you've learned from this program that you take through that has basically assisted you in your journey to becoming an attorney?
So, something that I really appreciated from the program was just for example, the speakers that we had. It was such a diverse group of people in terms of background, in terms of area of laws, in terms of age, in terms of experience level, and just seeing and hearing from all of those different attorneys and their stories and what they practice and how they studied for the bar, how they wrote their resume, or how they got to the job that they had. I really appreciated that because, especially being a COVID student, one of the classes, well, I guess the only class that pretty much had the whole law school except for like maybe 2 semesters online. Being a part of Journey to Esquire was like my main source of being able to really get the law school experience that I didn't really get to get from law school. And Jocelyn, like, she knows everybody, and it's amazing because she literally, like I mentioned, brought all types of people on there, and it just made it like I appreciated that, just hearing those different aspects.
They definitely look. I do love that about the program is that they bring in so many different people with many different experiences to make connections, to have the ability to network with these individuals. But when you hear stories of people who look like you feel inspired to go out and make your own, just go on your own journey as an attorney to make an impact. Uh, and so, in terms of your career, have you encountered any form of notable challenges or obstacles in your legal career? And can you talk about how did you overcome those things?
I would honestly consider me getting through the bar my biggest obstacle in my legal career so far, just because it's one of those things like the first time I took it, it's like, all right, I'm looking at the opening the computer, I'm like, oh, I know I passed. And then it's like, oh, not quite. And then the second time around when I took it, I was like, no, I definitely passed because this is my second time taking it. So like, of course I passed. And then it was like, oof. And that hurt.
Mhm.
It was like, do I really want to do this? Because, and we all know
Yeah.
that you only have 2 times a year to do this. So I think after that second time, really just locking in, and really, if I can look back to how I got it done this last time, mindset, because you just can't, think about the negatives when it comes, because I think we in this profession we get so like overwhelmed because
Mhm.
of the amount of information we're constantly learning, and we're always reading new things, and it's just very overstimulating. So I think that definitely passing the bar was my biggest obstacle so far. But what I can say is moving forward, I will definitely remember that experience. And I think that will make me a better person in my legal career, because obviously I know I'm going to come across obstacles again, but just keeping in mind the focus and the mindset that I had this last time of studying for the bar is definitely going to help me as an attorney now.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for someone who's gone through that same experience? Because as you said, taking the bar, it's definitely mentally exhausting. That's the thing. It's mentally exhausting to go through that process and I would imagine even with your journey having to, look at it, believing that you passed, then to look and feel defeated, and then having to then kind of find the strength to, go back and study again and try it again. Do you have any advice to someone who's gone through what you've gone through? Yeah, just in general, do you have any advice?
Yes, literally. And I know this is cliche, but do not give up, because in the end, like, it will be worth it. Even if someone like doesn't want to necessarily work at a law firm and practice as an attorney every single day, like, you never know what you might could use that for, and you could, you know, end up really helping somebody, like, even if it's just one case where you're just like, it's this case that gets someone out of jail. I don't know. Like, you never know. So it's like just thinking about, like, okay, just getting through it, and just, it's very temporary. That's another thing. Like, I know obviously 2 times a year seems like a long time, but it's still temporary even within that. Like, most of the time out of that is waiting for the actual results.
Yeah.
So literally just not giving up, maintaining a positive mindset, which again, I know cliche, but it makes all the difference in the world. And just, sitting down and thinking about why you went to law school, why you're taking the bar in the first place. Because obviously, like, we all have a reason for wanting to go to law school, wanting to become an attorney, or wanting to take the bar. And just sitting down and reflecting on that, because I think that, sometimes we take for granted how blessed we all really are. And something I like to say is, as long as you have a pulse, you have a purpose. So with that, just, staying true to yourself and not giving up. That's my advice.
Yeah, that's amazing. That reminds me of a conversation I had with someone the other day. I was telling them about the fact that, about my law school journey and all of those things. And they were like, how'd you get through all that? How do you go through law school? How do you get the bar exam? Like, how do you get through all of that? And I said, you have to want to be an attorney. Like, that literally has to be your focus, where no matter what it takes, you just do it. Like, I remember even thinking back because that in that same conversation, she had a daughter who was in law school and she didn't want to be an attorney, and I was like, I don't know, but I don't know if she's going to get very far. I don't know if she was doing that because her parents wanted her to. I was like, this journey is a long journey. It can be a long journey. For the only reason you to be an attorney is just for your parents to be you. I said, I don't know if she's gonna get very far. I mean, she possibly could, but when you're in law school and you're in that first semester and you're like, what the heck is this? I, and you're lost and you're trying to figure out what is going on. That keep your eyes on the prize. Oh, I'm gonna be an attorney. You know, even when you're taking the bar exam and you go through that process, and right, and since as some people are just like you were, they're like, man, I didn't get it the first time. Well, I didn't get it the second time. Why didn't I get it the third time? Like, keeping your eyes on the prize is definitely something that will keep you and will give you the strength to keep going. And it's like, why? Why? Remember your reason why. I want to become an attorney because